Hello, everybody. On this day in metal, I'm Justin, your friendly neighborhood metalhead, and I am here with Luca Indrio of the band
Hey, what's up,
Necrot.
everybody?
How you doing today?
I'm doing very good, man. We just got back from touring the US and Canada with Municipal Waste and Ghoul. I just got home 2 days ago. The tour was sick. I was
Nice.
gone for 55 days from home, and we were on the road for 44 days. So it's good to be back.
I bet. So I just want to start just simple introduction for new fans that are maybe new to Necrot and getting into them. How did you form the band Necrot?
Well, we started the band in 2011. Me and Chad Gailey, our drummer, our current drummer, and we just wanted to play fast death metal inspired by late 80s, early 90s stuff, and we wanted to do some demo tapes. And we were just a two-piece for our first two demo tapes for the first year, and then Sonny Reinhardt joined the band. We became a three-piece. We recorded our last demo with him in 2013 or something like that, and then we've had three full lengths. We just finished recording the new one called Lifeless Birth, which is about to come out. And previous to that, we got Mortal and Blood Offerings. But yeah, we started the band in 2011. And then since we became a three-piece in 2012, we've been playing shows from all the underground stuff, playing people basements and houses and small bars and whatnot, to getting to place later on, play like huge fucking venues with like 1,000 people going nuts. So we've done a little bit of everything.
Definitely to go from the basement to the stadiums is a huge, mind-blowing event kind of thing.
Yeah, the stadium maybe not, but
You'll get there eventually. Everyone always does.
to watch a game.
And then listening through kind of your early albums to kind of prepare, you guys have such a heavy and unique sound. Like you have one song, I believe it's called Breathing Machine, where it's a mix of like Autopsy, but you also have like riffs similar like High on Fire. And I'm curious, where do you kind of get the inspiration when you write, or are you listening to death metal, or are you just shutting yourself off from the world for inspiration?
The thing is that it's like we come from I come from a background of listening to all kinds of stuff, like metal being always the one that I had most of my interest. But it's hard to pin it down to just one or two bands when I would have to talk about my inspiration, because it's like when I go write stuff, I just get inspired from everything that I've liked throughout my life, which is thousands of songs. Mm-hmm. So it's a little complicated. Like, anybody can hear in a song, a band or another, also depending on his experience or her experience. But it's like at the end, it's hard to pin it down. I don't know. It's like when I write music, I just get inspired by everything that I've ever liked. Not necessarily all of it is metal, but most of it is, of course.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't sure. Like, I know some artists will like not listen to metal because they don't want the album to sound like what they're listening to. So I don't know if it was the same mentality.
Well, if you're only listening to one record for a year straight, then eventually that will do some damage in your compositional process. But if you're listening to different stuff, it shouldn't be a problem listening music.
Got a point on that. I did read a quote that said between your debut Blood Offerings and Mortal that Mortal was a more mature album. So could you say the same thing from Mortal to Lifeless Birth, that this album has become more mature, or new directions? How would you?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's another step forward to I feel like it's still Necrot, it's still our sound, but I feel that like we're going harder on the elements that make our sound, because we have some really aggressive, straightforward parts. We got some more melodic parts, something that is more groovy sometimes. And like we have some breakdowns in the past. So we have various elements that make our songs. And then we have some weird tempos. But like I just think that like we still have all those elements, just better, in my opinion. Like, just better, because we're still progressing as a band. We still haven't got to where we want to get, kind of. We played together for 13 years. It's our third album. You mature with every album, because also you learn from the mistakes that you made on the album on the previous album. You'll be like, okay, the album is great, but I wish this tone was a little bit more like this, or we didn't do, so then the next album, you remember, you're like, okay, now we can do that stuff.
Definitely.
or like, you know, you got more time also to like listen to your own band and understand what's missing, you know.
And you got to experiment too. I mean, if you're just making the same album over and over again, you're not evolving, you're not trying new things. You never know. You know, you might add symphonic elements on the next record, and you're like, oh my god, why didn't we add this 2 albums ago? Or you know, doing different scream vocals or different guitar tones, like you said. Like you never know where you're going to go with the next album and what you're going to do.
Right, and it's like, you know, we're not going that far from our style either. You know, it's not that we're like, oh, let's make a complete different band. That's not what we want. We still play the music that we like. You know, we still play this similar to what we've been always doing, but like I feel like we're just getting better at it.
Yeah,
and we never set ourselves too many limits. You know, we don't care about falling in a category or in another category. It's like that's up to the people that listens. You know, there's not something that concerns us.
Yeah,
you'll never hear us say like, you know, we don't do that because we don't want people to think something. It's like if we want to do something or in the album and be like, oh, let's do this melodic part and be like, it's sick, fuck it. Now it's in the album. It's not that it's like, oh no, that's some other stuff. It's like we don't worry about that shit. If we like something, it's gonna be on the album and we're gonna do it.
Yeah, because it's your music at the end of the day. So that's what matters.
Yeah,
you're gonna be playing it every day, so I want to be happy making it. That kind of stuff.
Yeah, 100%. We don't want to put limits based on like overthinking stuff.
Yeah. While researching, I did find that you have a project involving Eric Wagner of Gatecreeper called Metal versus Racism. And I was just wondering if you can kind of explain what that is and why you and Eric kind of created the project and are doing the project.
Because I felt that like it was a moment, especially with the George Floyd and all that was happening, that like you needed to speak up. You know, you needed to do something if you could, if it was in your power to try make things a little bit softer, you know, a little better, a little, you know, pushing in the right direction. And I feel that like, you know, music is the best place where anybody can feel included, you know, and where everybody can feel like they can be themselves without worrying about shit, you know. And that's what I always loved. That's what drew me into music in the first place. I always felt that like the places where I would find the most freedom and the most open-minded people would be at shows.
Yeah.
Especially at punk and metal and whatnot. Shows like you can like talk with anybody and have a pretty cool time. You know, you can pretty much pick any guy at the show and be like, hey, you want to drink beer with that person, and it's gonna be great, you know. So it's like with not much, and it should be a place like that with not much prejudice and with nothing more than like feeling united with people that share the same passion for something that is so, you know, metal music is something that the people who listen to it, like me or you probably, it's like you feel it a lot. Like, you know, you really feel it as part of you, you know. It's something important in your life, you know. It's not just on some music. Like we really love metal, you know. If you listen to metal, it's because you fucking love it.
Yeah.
There's no other way, you know, otherwise you don't casually listen to it.
Yeah. And you can't have racism and sexism in metal. I mean, if you did that, there wouldn't be Rob Halford of Judas Priest if you didn't accept.
No, and also it's like, you know, most people that plays in bands, they travel all the time. So they have met people from all over the place and realize that everybody's fucking cool or no, but like, you know, there is no like, oh, category of people that is bad or is good. That's like so dumb, you know. So it's like, you know, I think the music helps unite and it's pretty badass.
Yeah. And the cool thing is the metal community is such an open, welcome, like, you know, we accept
it has to be.
And
I feel that like, you know, if there is like little sectors that they're not like that, they should start at least not feel that comfortable, you know, start understanding that maybe there can be a conversation in which they can be included to change and understand that it's like, you know, everybody needs to be accepted and not discriminate. And it's like, you know, the metal music often have like, you know, imagery of like war and like, you know, Slayer, even so many bands use like even the Nazi imagery of like, you know, because it's like is the most recent evil, and it's like, you know, then the songs are about evil shit and whatnot, but it's like some people, especially from the fan side, they can take that seriously, you know, when it's not. And it's like I feel that like some people should understand that it's like metal music is not a close-minded place. It really isn't, you know. And he's like punk and metal, they go together, and there is a lot of like culture that there is behind these styles of music that is like definitely not something of racism or sexism or anything like that. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's like, you know, it's not that we can fucking just change the world or but we can at least be like, hey, I stand on the side of like, you know, of what's correct, you know. And then I want our fans to know it, you know, because when they come to our show, to know that we're not just a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
Because they're, you know.
Yeah, you want the acceptance, you want it, you know, the comfort space, like, you know, we're with you, we support you, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and we want, you know, our fans to understand that it's like, even if we appear very aggressive and our music is really heavy and direct and depressive and shit, is like, you know, when there's shit that matters, we're standing on the correct side. That is like, we fucking love everybody. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, we might be really pissed with our music, but it doesn't mean that we're a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
You
know? So you did mention that you just wrapped up a tour with Municipal Waste and Ghoul. How was the tour? You already mentioned the beginning, but if you want to go into how awesome it was, and then did you play a lot of the newer material on the road, and how did that
we play one song. We play Cut the Cord, which was the only song that was you know, already came out, the single of the album. So we played that one. We open the show every night with the new song.
Nice.
So we got to play it. We got to play some shit from Mortal. It was great, man, and the shows were badass.
Nice. Well, it's a hell of a thrash lineup. So I mean, to get, you know, the death metal band.
It was like, you know, it was like a very chaotic show. Like, people were going nuts, and all the shows were all ages. There were a bunch of young kids that they were ready to fucking destroy everything, you know. So it's like, and every band was fast and aggressive. So like, it was a shit show. Like, it was so fucking cool. Like, I don't know. I wish I would have never been one of the people working at the venue that night. You know what I mean?
I've been there. When I saw
it was rad.
When I saw Cannibal Corpse and Mayhem, I saw like an 8-year-old with the headphones and just constantly doing this along the Cannibal Corpse. I'm like, this is why I love a metalhead in our community, because of that. Like, you're seeing a little corpse grinder growing up, or you're seeing a future vocalist or a guitarist. Like,
right,
that's what makes us happy. That's our happy moment kind of thing. And then on your Instagram, I noticed you post a lot of delicious food, and you just got off the road. So I got to ask, when you're on the road, do you have like a go-to restaurant, a go-to meal, like that's like comfort food?
I just usually try to eat as much as I can when I'm on tour, because there is so much energy that you have to burn on the road doing everything that you got to do. So it's like, I try to eat more than usual, and you'll eat anything that you can put your hands on, pretty much. And then, like, you know, if you can choose, I usually try to go like either a Mexican place, if I can choose, or I don't know, sometimes I'll try and get like a ramen or some kind of like soup, some udon or whatever, some chicken soup, because it's like, I don't know, I just feel that like chicken soup makes you invincible or something. I don't know, because we go through a lot of like shitty weather, and like where you're constantly like, you know, there's snow and stuff, it's fucking cold, you drink it, you eat a chicken soup, you feel like so much fucking better, man.
It's the comfort.
But yeah, Mexican food, because it's like, it's good, it's spicy, and you're actually eating real stuff, beans, and like, you know, because otherwise sometimes you go, you know, eat at the gas station and stuff, and it's like, you don't even know what the fuck you're eating. You know, the nutritional content of that, whatever you just ate, is like nothing or disgusting.
Yeah.
But you gotta eat, you know, so you eat, at one point you just eat whatever you fucking can.
Yeah. Or it's the guilty of, you know, we only got $10, we're all gonna get the gas station burritos, and then that's when everyone gets sick and you miss the tour date, or you can't do that stuff.
Sometimes there isn't time to stop and eat.
Yeah.
There isn't time. You gotta get to the venue. So it's like, you gotta be there at 3, you had to drive 8 hours, so you left at 6 a.m. So it's like, or 7. So it's like, you gotta go, and you don't have time to stop and eat. So you just grab whatever you find.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Gotta do what you gotta do, man. It's not about eating, it's about playing the show, though.
All right. I always end my interview with this question, so it's always a fun one. What bands or albums are either you listening to or Necrot is listening to that you think people should be checking out, or you're digging? It could be famous bands, it could be independent bands. Just what are you digging that you think the fans should listen to or check out?
I think people should check out the new Witch Vomit album.
Good choice. Good.
It's sounding really good. I liked it. I heard the. I mean, I heard the couple of songs they put out, and I thought they were sick. I think they're on tour right now or like soon, or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Witch Vomit.
And then, like, you know, my drummer Chad's got a record label called Carbonized Record from Necrot, and he puts out a lot of cool stuff. So I would tell people to go check out what Chad is putting out, because he's got a really good ear for bands that sounds good. And like one of them, Street Tomb, they're coming on tour with us in June and July. We're doing a headlining tour for Lifeless Birth, and we're gonna take Bat and Phobophilic. They're gonna be the direct support, alternating. Like Bat is doing most of the tour, and Phobophilic is doing like the last 10 days or 12 or something like that. And Street Tomb is gonna be on the whole tour, and they sound pretty sick.
Is it gonna be a U.S. tour, or is this European tour? Or?
It's gonna be U.S. and Canada.
Nice.
It's getting announced in a few days, or probably already when people will see this.
I'll have to label this as exclusive for that, so I appreciate the heads up on that one. So, all right, so thank you, Luca, for the interview and the opportunity. The new album, Lifeless Birth, will come out April 12th, if I remember the date correctly, on Tank Crimes.
Yeah, again, April 12th.
April 12th, thank you. I want to make sure I got it right. So thank you, Luca, for the opportunity. We will see you on the road, and have a wonderful
weekend, my friend. Yeah, come to the show.
I will, man, I will. Peace out, man.